Hundreds came out Saturday morning to the second annual Riverfront Challenge in Lynchburg. The event had many challenges for every age and athletic ability. Participants could walk, run, or bike. A few even took part in a motorcycle treasure run. After the race, Turkey Hill treated everyone to free ice cream. Miss Virginia was even on hand to award medals to the winners.
Thanks. We're here with Laura Rogers from the Nature Zone in Midtown Lynchburg. Now, Laura, what is it you brought here to show us?
Well, I brought a couple of our buddies who live at the Nature Center. Right here we have Leona, the rosy-haired tarantula.
Now, clarify for the people watching, a tarantula is not as poisonous as some smaller spiders, correct?
Well, different tarantulas have a different type of venom. So this venom is really not that strong. So you don't, if you're bitten by her, it'll kind of hurt a little bit, maybe like a bee sting, but you're not going to have to be rushed to the hospital.
Now, a lot of people like to get tarantulas as pets. Would you recommend them as being one that would be a good companion for you?
You have to be a special kind of person. This is about as exciting as it gets if you have a tarantula for a pet. So if you're looking for something to take for walks and play frisbee with, probably not a good idea to get a tarantula. But if you work 12 hours a day and you have a tiny apartment and you don't mind just a quiet little buddy, then yeah. But I would say anytime you get any pet, do the research before you do the spending, because, yeah.
Now, how did this tarantula come to live at the Nature Zone?
Well, actually, this one replaced one that we had before who was given to us in just that situation, somebody who bought a tarantula and then just didn't really realize that they're not that exciting. So yeah, we took that one in, and then we realized it was really neat to have one. So when he passed away, we decided we were gonna make the commitment and actually buy one. But we know how to take care of her, so that's okay.
Now, what do we have right here?
This is Rex, the bearded dragon. And just like Leona, he is not native to around here. He's actually from Australia. And he used to be somebody's pet too. Again, you know, they realized that they couldn't take care of him, and they wanted him to have a good home. So they called us and said, could you possibly take him in? And we happen to have a vacancy at that point. It's very rare, but when we do, we try to accommodate. So
now, does that happen often? People call you with pets they can't take care of anymore?
Oh yeah, and if I may make a public service announcement, if you're thinking of getting one of those little aquatic turtles that you find on the beach in all those little pet stores, don't do it. Because they grow up to be big and they take a lot of care.
And then you guys end up with
And then we get the phone call, and they're usually red-eared sliders. You know, they're wonderful little turtles, but probably not the best pet.
But can a bearded dragon make a good pet if you know how to take care of it?
I mean, and if you really do the research and you're willing to buy what they need, and that's, you know, not only the proper food, but the proper caging equipment, lighting. Reptiles need a lot of special UVA and UVB lighting. It gets to be a little expensive. You have to clean up after them quite a bit. If you're willing to do that, they make wonderful pets. You can give them a really good home, but you just have to make that commitment.
So, what do we have in the bag here?
I think you know.
Oh, yes.
And whenever I show up with a pillowcase, everybody knows what's going to be in there. This guy actually is native to Virginia, actually all over the East Coast. He is a corn snake. It's a snake, okay, so I know some people really don't want to see that on TV, but his name is Oliver.
He's friendly.
Yeah, he's very friendly. Corn snakes are very gentle, friendly, non-venomous snakes. You really actually want to have them around because they'll eat mice and rats, which you really don't want too many of those around because they can cause troubles for you. And they're kind of shy, so you never really see them. And they're nocturnal, so again, unless you're out looking for them at night, you're probably never going to see them.
Now, people have a fear of snakes. That's a given. These being local area snakes, do people come to you often asking you about how dangerous they are, or if they could pose a danger?
Yes, we get a lot of phone calls, and people actually bringing snakes in various stages of being injured. You know, sometimes we get dead snakes, sometimes we get injured snakes that, you know, people have accidentally hurt in the course of doing lawn work or whatever, and they always want to know, you know, is this a copperhead? Is this a copperhead? That's the one venomous snake around here that we do have. And we do have this copperhead skin, and you can kind of see it is a little bit similar.
It's very close.
I can see, but if you look at the spots on the corn snake, they're kind of squarish or rectangulish, and these right here are more kind of like a little X, or if you flip it over sideways, like a little hourglass. So that's a really big difference between the two.
Now, if somebody were to find one of these in, say, their basement or garage, what would be the best course of action?
Well, what you should do is take a a large container, like maybe a Rubbermaid trash can or something, tip it on the floor on its side, and try to take a broom or a long-handled sort of tool and sweep the snake into the garbage can. Make sure the garbage can's empty. I should have said that before. And then just take it outside, preferably not too far away from where you are, because you probably will never see them again. They don't stick around in one spot. Just kind of let them go, and that'll be pretty much it. And if you feel uncomfortable about that, call me and I'll walk you through it.
Well, do you have anything else you'd like to share with us about the Nature Zone?
Well, we are open Wednesdays from 3 p.m. until 9 p.m. in the summer, and then year-round we are open Fridays from noon to 6 and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. if you want to come visit us. It's free, so you can come in and take a look at the animals, and if you have any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer them for you.
And now to Justin for sports.
What's up, LC? Just Pt2 here with your final weekly update in the world of sports. The baseball team made it to the ODAC tournament semifinals last week, only to lose to top-seeded Bridgewater 9-2. The only runs of the game came off the bat of Michael Kenna with a 2 RBI double in the 7th inning. The Hornets finished the season with a 24-15 record and going 14-4 in ODAC play. The softball team was also eliminated from ODAC tournament by top-seeded Eastern Mennonite University 6-4. The Hornets struck first with 3 runs in the 2nd inning with a 2-run home run by Katie Bruce. The Lady Hornets finished their season with a 21-18 record, going 8-10 in the ODAC. The women's lacrosse team awaits their first competition in the ODAC tournament, being the top seed in the ODAC. Their overall record is 12-4 with 8-1 ODAC record. The Lady Hornets play on May 4th. The men's lacrosse team has advanced to the ODAC finals game to be played on May 7th. The Hornets beat Randolph-Macon 16-10 in the first round and then defeated Washington and Lee to advance to the finals. The team's overall record for the year stands at 13-5 with a 5-2 ODAC record. Other news and notes: after 3 grueling days, the NFL draft is finally over, but no decision has been made if there will be a season. And the NBA and NHL playoffs have made it into the 2nd round, with the big story being that of the Memphis Grizzlies that defeated the Spurs to win their first playoff series in franchise history. That's it for me. I'm Just Pt2, and back to you guys.
Thanks, Justin. Now for a look at the week ahead, here's our chief forecaster, Will Stafford.
Now from the LC Storm Center, here is Chief Forecaster Will Stafford.
We saw a very active week this week all across the area with numerous tornadoes, especially down along and westward of the Blue Ridge. An F3 tornado actually touched down in Washington County earlier this week, producing numerous damage there. 8 people actually died in that storm. That storm, once in about 40 years, they say that one of those storms actually comes on through. All have since slid on out of the area, and we are going to be left with a fairly decent week. Late week this week. 78 on the day on Monday. We'll expect to see partly sunny skies, maybe a storm in the afternoon. Tuesday night into Wednesday, actually the heaviest activity comes through. We'll drop down to 44. We think it'll mostly be a cool rain, and then clearing out for Wednesday afternoon. Also considerably cooler behind it. 39 possible on Wednesday night, and then 67 on the day on Thursday, 67 for the day on Friday, and we'll also see a very nice weekend as well. We'll call temperatures right now in the low to the mid 70s. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Will.
That's our show for this week.
Hey, be sure to tune in next week for a season finale blooper show.
Should be a good one next week.
Till then, I'm Brandon Gannicott, in for Mandy Ramirez.
And I'm RJ Burnett. We'll see you next week, LC.